All right, so we're going to be starting with the dollar index. All right, as we've done that. Okay, yeah, this should be all sources. All right, so we're just going to take a look at all of the currency indices. All right, the majors. We'll take a look at them. Then from there we'll formulate a bias, and then we know what exactly it is that we're expecting from the market for the entirety of this week. All right, and probably the rest of the month. All right, on the daily time frame, I believe we have all right, which means that price is currently within this zone. Price is currently within that zone. Okay, and has broken out of this area. So we could begin to see some degree of bearish pressure on the dollar because we have this equal lows here, all right, all through to here, this point here. And then currently we are also having, we've also had equal highs around this level. Okay, so that was our trading range, and currently we've broken out of that trading range to the downside, right? So basically what we're expecting on the dollar index right now, what we're expecting is some degree of bearish pressure, all right? So on the 4 hours, we're also seeing, okay, we have this block here, all right? Price has retested it twice. Okay, so basically what we're looking for is a break below this level. All right, I want to see a break below that level for price to be able to come at least all the way down here, which means that for at least the next 1 or 2 days, we're expecting some bearish pressure on the dollar. All right, so we keep that as our bias for the dollar. All right, we keep that aside as our bias for the dollar, and then we're going to look at next commodity, the pound index. All right, so for the dollar, we have a bearish index, a bearish bias. For the pound, let's see what the market is saying. Let's go to the daily time frame first. So on the daily time frame for the pound index, we're also seeing, price broke out of this trend line, had a retest of this other block, and seemed to be dropping from here. All right, if we go to the 4 hours, we can also see that it seems this has been broken. All right, has been broken and retested. And then we've broken below the previous low at this point here. All right, which means that for the pound, we are also looking at a bearish bias. Right, we're also looking at a bearish bias. So for the Canadian dollar, let's see what the bias would be. On the daily time frame for the Canadian dollar, we have this. Okay, on the 4 hours time frame. You can also see that structure has been broken, the trend line has been broken, equal lows have been taken out, right? The equal lows around here have been taken out. All right, so currently we've seen a double top, okay, and we might be seeing, this, might be seeing a movement like that, this, all right. So that's for the Canadian dollar. So for CAD, we're also seeing at least from the technical point of view, we're seeing a bearish confirmation. Now, I'm going to show us how all of this begins to, interplay into each other. Let's see the Aussie index in the daily time frame. Right. So on the Aussie index, we're seeing price at the bottom of the channel. All right. Let's see what the 4 hours looks like. So on the 4 hours, we also have those equal lows. We have those equal lows to watch out for. We have these equal highs here. All right. We had a breakout to the upside. We've had this equal highs. All right. We have these equal lows right now, which is also, aligning with some equal highs from way back in the past. Okay, so basically for the Canadian dollar, we are having a double-edged scenario, which means that we can have price return back to this channel, all right, or we could have price, drop lower and then give us something like this. All right, so for the Aussie, the bias is pending, although I would say that it's more probable that we have it for an upward bias, right? At least to come and mitigate this. All right. So I'll be hoping that price comes all the way back to this stop and then gives us a clearer shoot back down. All right, gives us a clearer shoot back down. Otherwise, we could just see a breakout of that channel and then price go all the way straight down. All right, so having seen that, then let's begin to run our analysis. So let's see USD CAD. Okay, we have bullish trend. We have this equal highs here. This is still the daily time frame, please. And then we've had this equal lows here. Okay, which also aligns with this other block here. So we have a number of things that could possibly happen. We could see price come this way, all right, and then continue dropping because this also seems to be a confluence in that region. So on the 4 hours time frame, that's actually a major possibility that we could have. All right, we'll see price come into this zone, which also aligns with this other block, and then shoot back down. All right, shoot lower or shoot back down. All right, so that's for USD CAD. So basically for USD CAD, we might see a push back up into this region. Okay, and then we could experience a further break to the downside. Because as you can see, this other block also aligns with our sweet spot, which is one of the areas that we watch out for the most. So we'll be looking to, get a sell from that zone, all right, because we have all of these confirmations looking really, really cool in that small space. All right, so for USD CAD, we're looking at a small up thrust and then possibly a break back down, okay, or in the worst case scenario, we could see price come this way, and then shoot back up. But that's not very likely. So this breakdown is a much more probable setup for USD CAD. Let's check what we might have on GBP USD. GBP USD. All right, on the daily time frame, we see a sort of an imbalance. All right. So we've had equal lows around here. We've had equal lows around there. We've had equal highs here taken out. Okay. This also seems like something important to consider. All right. So let me see. Is there anything else I'm missing? Doesn't look really relevant. Okay. So for GBP USD, all right, we could see price break down into this zone. Okay, which is where we have this other block, all right, and it's aligning with one of our previous levels. Okay, as you can see, the 61.8 level, the GBP USD. Okay, so that's one trend line. This is yet another. So worst case scenario, we could have price, come this way, come back here, all right, and then drop this way. So that would be the worst case scenario. All right, so that would be the worst case scenario because that would mean price coming back into either this other block or this entire supply zone here. All right, and then dropping lower. So that's for GBP USD. All right. So would you like to suggest any other commodities that you would like us to take a look at as far as the Forex market is concerned? Just signify, let me know what it is that you would like us to also analyze tonight. We can quickly take a look at NZD USD. Right, NZD USD on the daily time frame has been a bearish trend. All right, has been a strong bearish trend. Let's see what's going on. All right, and we seem to be finding some degree of support somewhere around here. We've had equal lows there, and it's currently being filled up. We've also had equal highs around here. All right, we've had equal highs around here. We've had that, we've had this breakout to the upside, which must have happened like a sort of a Quasimodo, all right, a liquidity grab. So we might be seeing, let's see on the 4 hours time frame, we might be seeing price, come back to fill up either this region or back to somewhere around this shoulder. Right, where we have this equal highs sitting pretty. All right, and then if we bias for the USD, all right, so we could see this come up a little bit, all right, to gain some momentum before it continues to spring lower. So that would be my bias for NZD USD. All right, would anybody like to suggest any commodity they would like us to take a look at before we go into synthetic indices and maybe wrap up for tonight? If there's a commodity you like to suggest, you can just click on the speak button so that, okay, yeah. All right, go ahead, Mr. Tim. You can
yeah, I would like to see analysis of AUD USD. I like
all
this
right,
one.
AUD USD. All right, beautiful.
Yeah.
So let's look into that AUD USD for Mr. Tim. I know you remember we have a setup on AUD USD that is still currently playing out. And once my chart shows up, you're going to see it. I think we had a sell bias or a bearish bias on AUD USD for the previous week, for last week, right? And it played out pretty nicely. Let's go to the daily time frame. All right, so this is the daily time frame AUD USD. Okay, this is the daily time frame. We have this rejection from this other block right here. All right. We also have that trend line taking effect. So let's go to the 4 hours and see. Let's have further details of what exactly it is that the market might be looking or trying to do. Now, basically on this 4 hours time frame, we can say that we've had equal lows. All right, we've had liquidity grab to the upside. We've had a retest of this other block. All right, which if I pull out my feed, we'll see that it's also a premium level. All right, we have the retest of that other block. Okay, and so basically there are 3 things that I need us to observe here right now. All right, the first is that which forms our trading range for the moment. Okay. Nonetheless, one thing that I'm looking to see would be, if we could have price break down lower, all right, and then take out this previous low, all right, come down lower, take out the previous lows, then I would be extremely confident in this playing out like this. All right. Since on the daily time frame, what we have is an overall bearish trend that seems to have picked up momentum once again from here. All right, it seems to have recovered momentum from there. So, but in the worst case scenario, we might end up having probably price, coming back up here to gather some momentum before it shoots all the way back down. Okay, before it shoots all the way back. Down. Does anybody else want to suggest a commodity that they would like to see me analyze tonight before we wrap up for the day? Any other commodity to be suggested? All right, it seems like that's a wrap. But before we go, let me just quickly see if we can take a look at Gbp Jpy. It's one of my favorite commodities. All right, this is Gbp Jpy on the daily time frame. Let's go to the daily time frame quickly. Pardon me. I think this is. I just want to quickly review my chart for AUD USD on my other profile. Okay, Gbp Jpy on the daily time frame. Let's see what GBP has in store for us. All right, so on the daily time frame, Gbp Jpy, we have all of this equal lows. We have all of those as equal lows. Okay, we have this area as a possible area of equal highs. We're just trying to define our trading range on the daily time frame first. Then we have this other block. The C price being rejected from that other block. So currently Gbp Jpy is in a push down. I think there was an analysis that I did on this during the week. Okay, this is the 4 hours time frame. Okay, and this is what I'm seeing on the 4 hours time frame. So we've had this equal lows taken out. Okay, we've seen price dip a whole lot below, our initial lows. We've seen this equal lows also taken out. All right, so basically what I'll be expecting price to do in the worst case scenario would be simply to tap into this trend line, okay, and then resume this bearish movement all right, at least up to this level. All right, at least up to this level, which is where we have this other block. Okay, so this is one. There's another. Okay, that's a breaker block. So basically, that's my target for Gbp Jpy sells. Okay, so I will be looking to enter in probably around this other block here. Okay, that other block there, because I think currently it aligns with one of my sweet spots. So that would be it for Gbp Jpy. All right, so please let me know what you think. Let me know if there's any of the setups that you'll be looking to take during the course of the week. We'll be having market reviews twice more this week, or probably one more time this week, so that we can just go over all of this setup and see how they're playing out and what exactly the market is doing around our points of interest and our areas of interest. All right. So for those of you that are interested in synthetic indices analysis, all right, I'm going to end this here, all right, and then restart the one for synthetic indices so that we would not have everything this combo one. So please, if that's your interest, you can partake of that one as soon as we start that one. Okay. So thank you once again for your time. Thank you, everybody. I look forward to, hearing and seeing your trade results for the week. Okay.